Welcome to a new K-Steve Math video. Here I have Introduction to Calculus. This is why pre-calculus exists, right? So what is calculus is maybe something you're wondering, because I don't know necessarily why, but I feel like calculus sounds intimidating, and maybe you've had friends who've taken calculus and you're worried about it and you don't know what it is, and that's kind of because it's a whole different thing in some ways. You learn things that are completely new to you in calculus, whereas in pre-calculus you were doing a lot of review mixed in with some new stuff. Even in Algebra 2 you were doing review mixed in with some stuff. So calculus, a lot of it is brand new, and so that can be intimidating. Kind of to sum up what it is, it's a branch of math that deals with derivatives and integrals. And you probably don't know what those are right now, but guess what? That's one of the things you're going to learn in calculus. So when should you take calculus? And maybe also I can answer for you, should you take calculus at the same time? So calculus is typically after pre-calculus and college algebra and trigonometry. And depending on whether you're in high school or college, depends on which of those it might be. Some colleges do have a pre-calculus course, but a lot of them call it college algebra. If you're in high school, they most likely call it pre-calculus, but you shouldn't take calculus until you've had some sort of a pre-calculus and trigonometry course, because what happens in calculus is you do this new thing that's calculus, like a derivative, and then after that you do a bunch of algebra or trigonometry. Or maybe you start off doing some algebra or trigonometry, and then you do a calculus thing, and then that's it. But you're going to end up using a lot of skills from Algebra 1, Algebra 2, geometry, trigonometry, pre-calculus, as you're doing calculus. That's one of the things that actually makes it tough, is having to remember all of those things. So if you're in high school, you may have three options to choose from. A course that's just calculus without any AP attached to it. This course would not give you any sort of college credit if it's at a high school, unless they have some sort of special deal going on with a local university. So you definitely would want to double check that. If you're hoping to get college credit out of taking calculus, and it just says calculus, you want to check and see and make sure, because most of the time they don't offer it as actual college credit. You get the college credit either by taking it at a university or by taking AP Calculus. And there are two choices for AP Calculus. I am not sure why they used the letters they did, but the first one is called AP Calculus AB, and the second one is AP Calculus BC. So you have to understand that in college there are multiple classes called calculus. So you might have Calculus 1, Calculus 2, Calculus 3, Calculus 4. Colleges either have 3 semesters or 4 semesters, depending on how many hours their calculus classes are. So AP Calculus AB, if you take that and take the test and pass it, it gives you 1 semester of college credit for calculus. So it gives you credit for Calc 1. Whereas if you take AP Calculus BC and pass the test, then you'll have credit for 2 semesters, Calc 1 and Calc 2. So hopefully that helps you see what the difference is. That Calculus BC has to do more material, maybe in the same time. Most high schools, I don't actually know if it's most high schools, but I feel like most high schools, you either take AP Calculus AB or you take AP Calculus BC. And so BC covers not quite twice as much material, but close, in the same time as Calculus AB does. So if you are somebody who takes a long time to do their math homework or really struggles with math, BC is probably not the best idea for you. Because it's going to be very fast paced. You have to really stay on top of it. It is definitely a challenging AP course. But that's the difference. Some high schools do offer it differently, where you would take AB first and then BC second, and they actually completely separate the content. But I don't think that's as common as doing it the other way. So the important thing is making sure you know what you're getting into if you're in high school, what your choices are and what's best. So maybe talking to your counselor, or maybe talking to your favorite math teacher, because lots of math teachers have opinions about this and things like that. If you've been taking like pre-AP math classes all the way through, like pre-AP Algebra 2 and pre-AP pre-calculus, and now you're trying to decide what to take, take AP. That was the whole point. You were preparing for this the whole time. If you have time and math isn't super duper hard for you where you just feel like you'll have a panic attack every time you go to class, take AP and get the college credit for it, and make it worth it, the effort you put into those pre-AP classes. In my opinion, if you have a chance of getting calc credit from the AP test, then you should take it. That way you hopefully will have an easier time with whatever you're doing in college by not having to take college algebra in college and not having to take Calc 1, especially if you're doing a math or science field. You want to take as much math as you can. Some universities with their math programs or science programs actually assume you've already had Calc 1, and so you can actually feel like you're behind if you don't have AP credit. So if you're at the point where you're starting to think about what you want to do for a career or for a major, that's the time to look at it and say, would AP Calculus help me? And I think most of the time it would. Even if it's not a math-heavy field, wouldn't it be nice to not have to take any math in college if that's the case? So that is when you should take calculus and why you should take calculus. Topics covered in Calc 1 or AP Calculus AB would be things like limits, derivatives, applications of derivatives, integrals, and applications of integrals. And most of those things probably don't mean much to you right now, but believe me, at the end of Calculus 1, you will know all about these things. And I don't think I put up what's added for Calc BC because I am just going to hope for the best that I can make it through Calc 1, and then if I have the time and energy, I will add topics for Calc 2 just right after that. In Calc 3 and Calc 4 and Calc 5, there's not that many calculuses, but we'll see how this goes. Are you ready to get started? So learning from a video can be just as easy or just as difficult as learning from a real person, but there are some perks. When you're learning from a video at home, you get to be in a comfy chair or a quiet environment. That person that always asks annoying questions in class isn't there unless that person's you, and then you might actually be struggling because you can't ask all those wonderful questions. But treat it a lot like how you would try to learn in class. Have paper and pencil. Don't just sit there and not do anything. Write down examples and practice the skills that are being represented in the video. Pause and rewind as you need to. Speed up the video or slow it down, depending on if the teacher talks fast or slow. And just make sure you're practicing the skills as well. And comment, of course, if you're confused, so that hopefully the person who made the video can give you a response and help you understand. So that's just kind of a rundown of some tips. Hopefully at this point, if you're about to start calculus, you have an idea of how best you learn math. I will say it took me a really long time to realize how best I learned math, like into my master's degree in math. And then I was like, oh, I finally understand how to learn math. And that was going to class or watching videos of somebody doing it is helpful. Writing down examples, practicing those examples, and practicing like homework or practice problems where you know the answer is super important, because if you're practicing something and you are practicing it wrong, that is not helpful. You want to know as soon as possible whether you're doing it right or wrong. So that is a summary of how to help yourself with learning from a video. Thanks so much for watching, and I am going to start putting up some calculus videos. I'm very excited about it. Please also feel free to check out my website that I've made, www.kcmath.com, for more resources. Hope you have a great day. Please subscribe, like, maybe leave a comment. Who's going to comment first? Is it you? It could be you. You could leave a comment. Okay, I'm done. It's fine. Okay, bye.